What's up, FD? With the transfer window reopening in under 2 months, there are a number of players eyeing up potential moves. But with many clubs low on funds and a number of professionals seeking out lucrative contracts, we will no doubt see some moves hit the rocks. Let's take a look at 10 of them. 10. Florian Thauvin. Out of contract this summer, Marseille star Florian Thauvin has been linked with a number of clubs in need of extra firepower up top, namely Leicester City and AC Milan. But while he could be secured on a free, his wage demands have so far seen potential suitors take a step back, with reports claiming he'd rejected a pay rise worth an extra €450,000 a month from the Ligue 1 outfit. Valencia and Sevilla have reportedly ruled out pursuing him for this reason, while Milan will no doubt prioritise trying to nail down Hakan Çalhanoğlu and Gianluigi Donnarumma to new contracts before handing out inflated wages to any new arrivals. And the latest noises coming out of Marseille suggest Thauvin could stay in France after all, with the player stating his good relationship with sporting director Pablo Longoria and reports that the club could end up giving him the deal he wants. 9. Marcelo Brozovich. Marcelo Brozovich remains one of Europe's very best deep-lying playmakers, and with just a year left on his contract at Inter Milan, he could be a great pickup for a number of top sides this summer. However, with the Croatian star already on a reported £110,000 a week at the San Siro, and having previously rejected the club's attempts at renewing his deal, it's likely that any suitor would have to top that to secure his services. And considering he turns 30 in 2022, handing him a big contract may not be in the interests of the kind of clubs that would want him. Linked with the likes of Man United, Tottenham, Chelsea and Bayern Munich in the past, Brozovich may have missed the boat on another big move, with Spurs now sorted in his position and United and Chelsea both seeking out younger targets these days. Bayern meanwhile have since confirmed that they aren't interested. Staying in Milan may well be Brozovich's best bet. 8. Erling Haaland. His €75 million release clause may come into effect in July 2022, but the prospect of missing out on a generational centre-forward may see Europe's elites come in early for Erling Haaland this summer. Chelsea, Man City and Man United have all been strongly linked, and are among the 10 clubs agent Mino Raiola claims can afford the Norwegian star, while he has also met with Barcelona and Real Madrid. And while a select few clubs may just about be able to afford the €150 million plus needed to get Haaland out of Borussia Dortmund this summer, throw his wages into the mix and it's another story. That's because Raiola envisages Haaland eventually becoming the world's highest paid player, with reports suggesting he will be looking for at least £600,000 per week at his next club, and perhaps as much as £1 million a week in the future. To put that into perspective, David De Gea, the Premier League's top earner, takes home £375,000 a week, meaning any English club would have to completely overhaul their wage structure to house Haaland. There's no doubt the former Salzburg marksman will eventually earn the kind of money we currently see Messi and Ronaldo on, but right now it may be too much for even the richest sides to stomach. 7. Kalidou Koulibaly. Every summer, Kalidou Koulibaly's name spins around the rumour mill, and it's no different in 2021. The Napoli centre-back turns 30 this year and is valued at €50 million by Transfermarkt, a far cry from the $100 million valuation Partenope owner Aurelio De Laurentiis has stuck to consistently over the last 2 years, giving hope to clubs which were put off a move in the past. However, while his price tag could drop this summer, he still commands a hefty wage, with his reported €175,000 per week contract making him the highest paid player in Naples. And given any move would likely be his final chance to secure an increase, he may demand even more from a Premier League club looking to take him on, with Chelsea, Liverpool and Everton the most strongly linked with him in recent months. With Liverpool unlikely to give another ageing star a big contract after Thiago last summer, and Carlo Ancelotti recently ruling out a move for his former pupil, it leaves the Blues, who don't have a track record of handing big wages to veterans in recent windows, Thiago Silva aside. Koulibaly could be staying put once again this summer. 6. Isco. If Real Madrid are going to spend anything significant on transfers this year, it's generally expected they will need to sell too, and having made just 6 La Liga starts this season, Isco is hotly tipped as one of those who will be leaving the Bernabeu. The last time the Spaniard played as many as 1,500 league minutes was back in 2017-18, and he's remained on the periphery ever since. The former Malaga man only has a year left on his deal and at 28 still has a lot to give, so it's no wonder he's been linked with a number of clubs, namely Everton, where he could reunite with both Carlo Ancelotti and James Rodriguez. But while it's possible he could be secured for as little as €20 million or even less, Isco's wages could cause a headache at Goodison. He's on a reported £123,000 a week at Real Madrid, which would make him the Toffee's second highest earner after James. And if Everton aren't willing to offer him a better deal than he's currently on, he could be tempted to wait it out in Madrid for his contract to expire. 5. Aaron Ramsey. Since signing from Arsenal on a free in the summer of 2019, Aaron Ramsey has failed to nail down a regular place at Juventus. He was given just 11 Serie A starts by Maurizio Sarri last term and has been afforded just 12 by Andrea Pirlo so far in the latest campaign, despite showing some impressive form early in the season. And with Juve needing to free up the wage bill after a year of decimated revenues, Ramsey is understandably seen as disposable. However, while initial reports that he'd agreed a £400,000 a week contract in Turin were overblown, he still does earn around £200k a week, while his deal in Italy doesn't expire until 2023. Like Isco, the Welshman has been tipped for a move to Everton, although right now it seems to just be tabloid talk more than anything else. Nevertheless, it's difficult to see any club coughing up those kind of wages for the 29-year-old. Juve looks set to be frustrated in their efforts to offload him. 4. Kylian Mbappé. With Kylian Mbappé yet to sign a new contract at PSG as this goes out, speculation over his future continues to dominate the back pages. And while the likes of Liverpool, Man City and in particular Real Madrid continue to be linked with him, there is also a feeling that it will be almost impossible to do a deal for him this summer. With Neymar set to commit his future to the French champions, Mbappé apparently wants parity with the Brazilian's €35 million a year salary, almost double the reported €18 million he's currently on. If he gets his wish, he would earn over €700,000 a week. So even if he chooses not to sign a new deal, this is the kind of money suitors of Mbappé would have to stump up. It would blow Liverpool and City's current wage structure way out of proportion, while Real are still contending with Gareth Bale's salary and are likely ruining the huge deal they gave to Eden Hazard, which runs until 2024. We'd love to see the Frenchman make a huge move this summer, but right now it looks unlikely. 3. Sergio Ramos. It still seems impossible to imagine Sergio Ramos donning a shirt other than Real Madrid's, but at the time of writing he is still yet to renew his contract at the Bernabeu, and the noises coming out of the Spanish capital suggest he really could be on his way out. President Florentino Perez has made no secret of the club's financial difficulties, and when asked about his captain recently, said, "I love him very much, but we are in a very bad situation. We need to be realistic about what's happened to us." Meanwhile, reports back in February suggested that the Spaniard needed to take a pay cut in order to facilitate the huge wages of Gareth Bale. But even if Ramos does leave the Spanish giants, his salary means that even on a free, he would still represent a hefty investment for whoever came in for him. Reports vary on the exact figure, but his wages are estimated at around £350,000 a week, making him the third highest earner at the Bernabeu after Bale and Hazard. And with injuries having marred what could be his final season in Madrid, even a club like Man United, who have reaped the benefits of handing a lucrative short-term deal to a veteran like Edinson Cavani, may be put off. 2. Paul Pogba. While he is Man United's second highest earner on a whopping £290,000 a week, we haven't heard anything to suggest that he'd want any more than that if he were to leave Old Trafford for another big club. But in the current market, the Frenchman would likely have to take a pay cut, especially considering the fact he'd likely cost at least £50 million, not to mention that agent Mino Raiola would want a decent commission too. Since 2020, the only party who have seemed consistently interested in taking on Pogba have been Juventus, who may be able to free up funds should they be able to shift Cristiano Ronaldo. But that's a big if, and even then a box-to-box midfielder isn't necessarily the kind of player they should be spending the bulk of their money on. PSG are never far away from the rumour mill with Pogba either, and a move to Paris would in many ways make more sense for the World Cup winner. Whether they'd be willing to stump up the funds for him rather than for a younger talent like Camavinga, for example, is another matter. 1. Lionel Messi. After the calamity of last summer, it looked almost certain that Lionel Messi would finally leave Barcelona. But 8 months later and his future is no more certain. Joan Laporta's election didn't spark the instant contract extension some hoped for, with the club still working out how it manages its astronomical debts while keeping hold of its highest paid employee, and Messi not set to make a decision himself until the season ends. But if he does leave, whichever club takes him on will of course have to front a pay packet unlike any other. On around £1 million a week, Messi would surely demand something very similar from Man City or PSG, for example, even if he would likely take a pay cut to stay at his beloved Barca. And this begs the question, how worth it would he be? City and PSG are both fast-growing global football brands, and getting in Messi would be a masterstroke in this sense. But that doesn't guarantee either club going for him, especially with City having recently tied Kevin De Bruyne down to a new long-term deal. Ripping up their wage structure may be worth it in the short term, but could come back to bite them years down the line, as we've seen at the Camp Nou. For now at least, Barca remain in the driving seat with Messi. So those were our 10 wage demands that could ruin transfers this summer, but out of these players, are there any you could still see making a move? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave it a like and of course subscribe to Football Daily if you haven't done so already, and why not click on screen right now for another great FD video. Thanks for watching and we'll see you next time.